So you start by putting this x plus 1 on the outside, and then the x squared minus 3x minus 4 on the inside. Is that okay? It's just like the numerical example.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is where it gets more difficult. Okay, it's not as straightforward. So you're trying to figure out, what do you multiply x by to get x squared? And the answer is just x. Okay. X times x gives you x squared. So kind of just like you do up here, you're going to take this x and you're going to multiply both of these, the x and the 1. All right, so x times x, you can think of it as multiplying here, that becomes x squared. Then you do the same thing, you take the x and you multiply it by the 1, that gives you just x. Okay, and it importantly is that you kind of line up these columns with the x squared or x or non-x. Now, just like in your polynomial or your long division here, you always subtract, right? So you subtract here, but it's better to think of it as changing the signs. Okay, so right now x squared is positive, x is positive. We're going to change the signs to make them both negative. And then you add things up vertically. How are you doing here following along with this?
I'm writing it down. I kind of understand it.
Okay. All right, that's good. Now, what's very important is that x squared minus x squared, this has to go to 0, and it does. You really want 0 in that first position. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Now, in the next position, it's minus 3x minus x, that's minus 4x.
Do you add them? No, you would be.
You are adding, but you're adding a negative. Like normally it's subtract, but I prefer to change the signs to make it adding. This is where it gets a little complicated.
That's why they were changing the beginning. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So then, and then this is kind of like the last part, which is minus 4. Bring that down. All right. So now a new step here, I got to get rid of these lines up here, is you now want to get minus 4x from x. So you ask yourself, what do you multiply x by to get minus 4x? And the answer is minus 4. So now you take this minus 4 and multiply it by x, that's minus 4x. Then you take the minus 4 and multiply it by 1, that's minus 4. And then you again change the signs. So now it goes from negative to positive, negative to positive. And this time when you add, you are adding vertically, you get 0 and 0.
So would the answer be, the full answer just be x minus 4 then?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
I don't really understand it in the middle, really.
Yeah, well, we got to do a few more examples. This is very confusing. That's one of the reasons I put off doing it, because I want to make sure you actually really wanted to cover this, because it's I don't know, it's like doing things the long way. But let's do another one here. Let's go x squared plus 10x plus 9, and we'll divide it by x plus 9. So this is x plus 9 on the outside of the house, x squared plus 10x plus 9 on the inside of the house. Is that okay to start out?
Yeah.
All right, so you ask yourself, what do you multiply x by? Whatever's in front here, what do you multiply x by to become x squared?
Would that just be itself, or would it be
x,
2?
just
or
x.
Yeah.
Yeah, x times x gives you
X squared. Okay.
Yes. Okay. And then you actually have to do the multiplication. You have to actually multiply x times x and then x times 9.
And I would put that down, where would I start the row again? Would I put that down under the first x squared?
Because yeah,
Would I
because
start that there?
they always have to line up. Yeah.
Okay. And then I would do x times 9.
Yes. So you get 9x. But very important is to
Do I flip the signs?
change the signs. So they both become negative in this case.
So negative 9x. Okay, and it does go into the. So then that first one would be 0 again?
Yes, it's supposed to be. If you've done it right, it is
And
0.
it should always be, the first one should always be 0.
Yes.
And then the second one would be
Whatever it is. So in this case, 10x minus 9x is
this
1x.
and it's plus 1x, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then plus 9.
That part was, this is where it got confusing, I think, the second part.
Okay, so now it's a repeat of the process, which is what do you multiply this x on the left by to get this 1x down here?
So it has to be, you have to multiply to figure out what would get it to the middle number.
Or the leading, like think of it as the leading, like it was x
Oh
squared was
yeah, I
leading.
mean, yeah, because
Yeah.
the first one's 0, so.
Yeah, and then
So it would be, wouldn't it just be another x
just one.
or just one? Oh, okay.
So note, like it also typically goes down. So if you've already used up an x, it's going to be now a number for that.
Okay. So plus 1, and where am I? Oh,
The one up
the
here.
x is more over the 10.
Yeah, so it's think of it as an x column, a constant column, an x squared column.
Okay. And then do I do the same thing with the 1 where
You multiply both things out in front. So 1 times x is 1x. 1 times 9 is 9. Change the signs.
so it would be 0 again on the bottom?
Yes.
And so the answer would be x plus 1?
Yes.
Okay, I think I get it now. I think I just have to write down the steps, but that's actually not too bad.
It's not too bad, but there's like other things that like I'm giving you all the kind of the nice ones, and we'll now go
Oh
view
yeah,
like
these are really simple ones. I'm
Yes.
sure there's other ones that wouldn't very nicely add up to.
Yeah, so let's do let's do a bigger one. You know, it's the same process, but it's like now there's more to do. So this one is x minus 2 on the outside. And then 2x cubed minus 8x squared plus 9x minus 2 on the inside.
Q minus 8x. Also, is that okay? Cubed and then squared.
Yes, just like it's written
Okay.
here. My handwriting is not.
And then plus 9x minus 2. Okay. So where would we start with this, with that first 2x cubed?
Yeah, you ask yourself, what do you multiply this x by to get 2x cubed? So let me pose it to you another way.
Would
You
it
take
be 2x squared?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, very good. Okay, so now you take that you take that 2x squared and you multiply by both x and the minus 2.
So 2x squared times x, would that be 2x cubed? Or
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Okay.
2x cubed and then minus 4x squared.
Okay, and then it would be 0 again, right?
You change the signs of both, so one becomes negative, in that case positive, and then you add vertically, like you said, it's 0. That's good. If it's not 0, you made a mistake, like you've done something wrong.
Okay, so even in the long ones, it has to be 0 as the first
Yep,
number?
always 0, and then your goal is to get 0, 0, 0 all the way
Okay.
down.
So then, -8 plus 4.
So
So
negative
that
4x
would be,
squared.
yeah, -4x.
Okay,
And then,
bring down the next term, the 9x. So you just bring one down at a time. You don't need to bring the 2 down.
do I need to change the signs when I bring them down or no?
No, not
Okay.
when you
So that's what I do with the longer ones is after that first one, I bring it all down.
you always bring sorry, this is where this virtual virtual doesn't work great. With this first line is from multiplying, that whenever you multiply, you change the signs, but when you add, you just leave them as
Okay.
is.
And then do you do,
So now you ask yourself, what do you multiply x by, this thing out in front, to get -4x squared?
so would it be -4x?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good. Then
-4x.
you multiply again these two things in front by the -4x, and then
Which two things, what am I multiplying? Am I multiplying the -4x by the x and the
by
2?
the x, and then the -2. Yeah.
Okay, so -4x times x, that would be -x squared, so that would bring it down to 0 again for that first one? Right? Because that would be another -x squared, or -4x squared.
Yeah, -4x squared plus 8x.
Plus 8x. And then I change the signs,
Yes.
so 9x minus 8x, that's 1x, right?
So you got to change the signs of
Oh,
both.
yeah, so it's 9
Yeah, and that's where it's easy to
plus
go
-8,
wrong
okay. And
if you
then,
don't.
wouldn't that still be 1x though?
It is. It's
Oh.
1x, but now and you keep going.
And then 1x, and then you bring down the -2.
Yes.
And then do you do -2 by the x and the 2? Like what?
Yeah, you do the same thing. Like, what do you multiply x by to get at 1x?
Let's see. Just x,
Just
right?
one. Just
Or
one.
just one? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
1, and then you would put the 1 at the top.
Yes, and then you take that 1 at the top and multiply it by x and -2 on the left.
So, okay, so it would just cancel out to 0.
Yes, because you
Okay,
change the
so
signs
1x.
again.
Yeah, and then -2. So it would end up being 0, 0.
Yes.
So the answer would be 2x squared minus 4x plus 1.
Yes. All right, so let me have you try one here on your own. It's a little more difficult, but I mean, we gotta eventually like build up to more difficult problems here. Actually, let me rewrite this one because it's got some other stuff that could be more. See, I don't like this problem for you. Sorry, I don't like that at all. Let me check this one before. Let me snip this in. Yeah, this one's fine. Okay. All right. Why don't you try this one here? It does work out nicely, but just see if you start to finish, you can do it. Ask me some questions along the way if needed.
So x plus 3, and then on the inside would be it's 3x cubed.
Yes, plus 5x squared. Is it
Okay,
too close to the
3x.
top to see?
No, I can see it. I just had to. It's on I'm doing my phone screen, so it was a little smaller. Plus 5x. minus 11x plus 3. And then, okay. What's the very beginning step?
What do you multiply x by to get 3x cubed?
Okay, so it would be 3x squared.
Yes.
3x. Three.
I can also check your next number at the top here, or next term if needed.
Oh
You're not
wait,
sure.
I put it in the wrong place. I put it, wait. Am I supposed to, where am I supposed to put the first 3x squared? Am I supposed to put it above the 5x squared?
It's above the, like, look at it as the x squared. Look, that's where it goes, whichever one it's above, or in line with, maybe is a better way of saying that.
And then would 3x squared times x be 3x cubed?
Yes.
Again, yeah, so that would make it 0. Just making sure. And then 6x squared?
Or
No, wait, because it's 3 times 3.
should
Right.
be like this: 3x cubed plus 9x squared, and then you change the signs of both.
Oh wait, because it's 3 and 3, so it's 9, not 6. And then
Yes.
because it's not adding on the top, it's then the adding's on the bottom. And then it would be negative 9x squared.
Yes.
0. And then plus 5. It would be negative 4x squared.
Uh-huh. And then you bring down the minus 11x.
And then it's, what do you need to multiply x by to get negative 4x squared?
Good.
And then let's see. Then it would be,
So you can also do it in pieces, like, what do you multiply x to get the x squared? And that's x. Okay. But then what number goes here such that when you multiply it by 1, you get the minus 4?
would it, because it's a negative number, so I just don't know if it would be anything different.
It's just negative 4. Like you said, it's a negative number.
Oh, so would it be, would it just be negative 4x then? And
Yes.
then,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
so, and then I would put that on the top.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. Very good.
Negative 4x. And then I bring down the plus 3 now? Or
Yeah.
no?
Well, you multiply the negative 4x times the x
Oh, I
plus 3.
forgot about that. And then,
Yes.
so negative 4x times x would be, okay, so negative 4x2, and then it turns to 0. And then let's see, times 3. So that would be 12x, but would I make it positive?
Yes, change the signs.
So positive 12x. And then let's see. Then I would do the +3, and then it would be what times x mix 12x, which would just be 12, right?
No, you have
Or
to
no?
add up.
Oh,
You have
wait,
to add up. You have to add them up
I
first.
forgot about the adding.
Yes.
I think I missed something. It doesn't look like that.
You said 12x though, and you're combining with the minus 11x.
Wait, where did the 12 come from?
Minus 4x times positive 3 becomes minus 12x.
Oh, I forgot to do that
And
part.
then you change the sign.
I forgot to do that part. So plus 12. And then I don't know why I wrote that down there. So 0, and then it'd be plus 1. Would it would it just be 1x or no?
Yes, 1x.
Okay.
You add them together.
And then let's see. And then I would I do the same thing where it's what adds up to x?
What do you multiply x by to get x? What do you multiply to get itself?
Just x
1 plus 1.
or just 1? Oh, okay.
Yeah, 1 is the identity, so it gets back to itself.
So then it would end up being, yeah, just plus 1 at the end.
And then you multiply that 1 by the x and by the 3 to get x plus 3. Change the signs. And you get 0 at the end. We're going to do a few more. It is repetitive. It's the same, but there's like 4 or 5 steps to get down before you got it. So I'd like to show you another question here that's got a little different type problem. Let me know when you get all this down and we'll do that.
Oh, I was doing that way.
Great. So this problem will be x plus 2 into x cubed plus 7x squared plus 14x plus 3. So again, probably good for you to try to follow along, try to do the calculation as well. It's like, what do you multiply x by to get x cubed? That's the thought. And it's x squared.
Okay,
And it goes above the x squared. Then you take whatever you put up top here and you multiply by each of these on the left. X cubed, 2x squared. Then you change the sign. And every time I draw this horizontal line, I know that I'm going to add. That's borrowed from accounting, by the way. That's what they do in accounting. So it's x cubed minus x cubed, that's 0. 7x squared minus 2x squared, that's 5x squared. Okay, and then because I know I'm going to need at least 2 terms, I bring down the 14x. Let me know when you get caught up to here and if you have any questions as well.
So the first thing I do is what times x makes, how do I get to x cubed from x?
Yeah,
Or
it's kind
what?
of like your focus is there and there. What do you multiply x by to get x cubed? And that becomes x squared. Because like now we're focused on what do you multiply x by to get 5x squared? That's where we're moving here on this problem. Is that okay?
Yeah, so then it would be 2. Would that be negative 2x? Negative 2x.
We want to get to 5x squared. So the 5 is the number. Whenever you want to get to a number, it's 5, whatever that number is. And then x times what gets you to x squared is x. And notice again, you're going like down. So because you're done with the x squared, it's going to be something times x. So now you take that 5x at the top and you multiply by both the things on the left.
Wait, the 5x goes at the top too?
It has to, like, the 5x is what you're multiplying x by to get 5x squared, and you're going to put that down here. So like we're trying, like, this original is like sort of gone. It's really 5x squared plus 14x plus 3, and you're basically resetting the problem. You're like, what do I multiply this outside thing by to get 5x squared? And it's 5x. So like this line is the product line, and this is the add line. So now we're going to again have to do a product line, meaning multiplication. You're going to take this 5x and multiply by x to get 5x squared plus the 10x. But you have to change the signs. All right, and then you get 0 in the first position again, which is really good. That's what you want. Second one is 14x minus 10x, which is 4x. And then you bring down another term here. Give me some feedback, because I'm not sure where this is going.
Oh, I'm writing it down.
Okay.
And then you do the 3 and
Yeah.
then
Bring that down. Yeah. So it's now okay. I've got an x here on the left. What do I multiply x by to get 4x?
so do you put the 4x at the top too?
No, you're just asking that you're trying to figure out what goes at the top, and if it's the answer to the question, what do you multiply x by to get 4x? There is another way to figure it out, which I was trying to show you earlier. You take that 4x and you divide it by x. This 4x is the numerator. This x over here is the denominator. That's just 4. That's what goes up here. It's kind of like when we were doing grouping, factoring. Maybe we didn't do any grouping, but you're asking a question rather than doing the math, because you can do it. You can divide over here to figure it out. Sometimes you just get into the pattern of seeing that it goes down. Like this has to be a number here. If you take this number 4 times the x, that's 4x. 4 times the 2, that's 8. And you change the sign. So you subtract and subtract. And this time we don't get 0, which does not mean it's a mistake. It's what's called the remainder. So sometimes they just don't work and you get a remainder at the end. Would you like me to give you an easier one to try? Do you want us to keep going through kind of these intermediate types? Like what would be best to help you?
So we'll just do these ones.
Okay, let's do another one kind of like this. One that has a remainder here. So we'll go x minus 5 on the outside. And then we got x cubed minus 10x squared plus 20x plus 26 here. So how do we start this? What's the first thing to do?
Mm. The 8 and the 8 squared, so it would be oh wait, I put 8 minus 5 instead of x minus 5.
Ooh, okay.
So
Yeah.
oh wait, no, what I also put 8 squared instead of x cubed for some reason. I don't know why I was seeing that. And then so it would be x cubed on the top or x squared on the top.
It's x squared that gets you back to x cubed.
Oh wait, I put it in the wrong spot. It needs to be above the 10. Wait, it's a 2x squared. So then you would put the x squared under the x cubed and then change the sign.
Yeah, you're gonna multiply both x and the minus 5 though. You got to multiply both
And
of
then,
them.
yeah, and then the x in the negative 5 would be negative x, but you would change it to positive x squared.
Yeah, I
Or
wait until
5
right,
to
and
x squared.
you got it minus and then positive, and then you add together.
So it'd be negative 5x squared. Would we put that above the 20x?
The result goes down below. So minus 10x squared plus 5x squared is minus 5x squared. You always move down vertically with the addition, and then bring the 20x down. You like whatever's the next one, it just comes down.
So on top, would you do?
It's a reset. You're really resetting. It's now instead of the x cubed minus 10x squared plus 20x plus 26, instead of this, you're envisioning just this minus 5x squared kind of being in that under the box there. And you're asking yourself, what do you multiply
I'm
x
wondering
by?
what I do it to get to x to put on the top.
Yes, because there's going to be something with an x here, because x times x gets you to x squared. How do you get to
Would I
minus
just
5?
do regular negative 5x?
Yes. Then you take each of these times x times minus 5. So minus 5x squared plus 25x. And then you change the sign.
So you don't have it written with change signs right
Not
now?
yet. Yeah, not yet. And
Okay,
I
so
usually,
it
and I
is
should
plus.
plus and then minus, and that might be, I'll just switch to another color. That'll help. That becomes 5x minus 5x, and then plus 26. Now it's just a reset altogether. It's like you're going back to what do you multiply the x by to get minus 5x?
-5.
Very good. And then you multiply both of those on the outside by -5. And then you change the sign. And then this time you have a remainder of 1. Sometimes you get a remainder.
So then would you just put like remainder 1 at the end of the answer?
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Let's make sure we can get through all these like intermediate steps. Because once you get that down, I'll show you how to write the answer. But for now, let's do one other one here, if you're okay with that. I can, yeah, I guess we should keep doing some like this. So I was going to suggest maybe switching it up here, but all right. So you got 3x minus 2, 27x cubed plus 9x squared minus 3x minus 10. This one works out nicely. Do you want to try this one on your own, or do you want me to work through it a little bit for you?
I can try it.
Okay.
The red one. Okay. Would it be 9x cubed?
Squared, 9x
Oh,
squared,
squared.
because it gets you to the cube.
Mm. And then would it be plus 18 after I flipped it? Plus 18
Yeah,
squared?
so it's 27x cubed minus 18x squared, and then change the sign, flip the sign, negative plus. Yeah. Good.
So it's 9 plus 18.
Yes, 27x squared, and then bring the minus 3x down.
And then it would be another, it would be 9x.
Good.
Mhm. Like, positive 18x again?
Yeah, that's right. 27x squared minus 18x, change the sign. Change the sign, there it is. Minus
So
plus.
0, and then will that be plus 15x?
Yes,
And then bring down the 10,
yes, minus 10.
and then times. Make it. Would it be 3x on top?
You're trying to get to
Or no, wait,
15x,
15, so
a
it would
little
be,
bigger. And there's no x because you had an x squared, x to the power of 1, no x here. Just a number.
or 5?
Yes. Good.
Would this one just cancel out to 0?
It does, yeah. All right, let's do I guess I should explain the whole like form of the answer. So let me do a simpler one so you can see that. Good job on that, by the way. It was good. So let's go 2x plus 3 into 2x squared minus 17x minus 38. All right, so just like the previous problems, you're going to figure out what do you multiply the 2x by to get 2x squared and its x. Take that top term, multiply by each of these, so that's 2x squared and 3x. Then you change the signs. And then you add, so in this case, it's minus 20x. Bring this down, minus 38. And you ask yourself, you say, what do you multiply the 2x by, again, to get this one right here? Now, since I've already dealt with the x's, I'm now going to have a number. In this case, minus 10. So you take that minus 10, you multiply it by the 2x, minus 20x, minus 30. And then again, you change the signs. So this time there's a remainder of -8. Let me know if that's okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So this thing up top is called your quotient. And this thing on the left here is called the divisor. So your answer is written this way. It's as the quotient plus the remainder over the divisor. So the way that you write your answer is x minus 10, that's the quotient, that's up here. The remainder is -8 over the divisor, which is 2x plus 3.
So is that how I would write the official answer? Like if the answer
Yes.
ended up, yeah. So if they asked me like on the test, it would be
Yes.
-8 over 2x plus 3 would be the answer.
No, it's the whole thing. X minus 10 plus -8 over 2x plus 3. It's all of it.
Oh yeah, but that's how the remainder part would be that extra.
Yeah, like and for when it works out perfectly, like when the remainder is 0, 0 divided by anything is 0, so it's just the quotient. But most of the time you get a remainder, and it goes over the divisor. So if we go back to a previous problem here where we actually had a remainder, like this one,
So would that one be written as
you start with the quotient.
all of that and then like x squared plus 5x plus 4 and then it would be -5 over x plus 2
Exactly.
next to it? Okay.
Yes, exactly. All right, so let me make a little note here that next time we should move on to synthetic division,
Okay.
which is the faster way to do this. And there's more questions that can be asked, but it's really impressive that we were able to do all that in